And we begin this hour in KwaZulu-Natal. Wilhelmina Luthuli will continue her testimony in the High Court in Pietermaritzburg on the reopened inquest into her late father-in-law, that's Chief Albert Luthuli's death. Now, the original inquest, you might remember, found that Luthuli was hit by a goods train on KwaZulu-Natal's North Coast. The family, however, has rejected this finding. Yesterday, she testified that important evidence was not presented in the original inquest in an attempt to hide the apartheid government's involvement in Luthuli's death. Watching the story for us once again is SABC News senior reporter Ayanda Mhlongo, who joins us now live from court. And Ayanda, we've mentioned since Monday when this inquest started that really at the heart of it is about the family, and we've heard now from the first family member to get a sense of how they're feeling and what they know about what might have taken place.
Yeah, absolutely, and a very good morning to you and good morning to our viewers at home. Absolutely, and this is more about the Albert Luthuli, the family of Chief Albert Luthuli. We know for the past 57 years, Ayanda has waited for this moment where they will finally, it hopes that they will finally be one step closer to finding out exactly what happened to Chief Albert Luthuli. And as you're saying there, the testimony coming from his daughter-in-law, Wilhelmina Luthuli. In fact, it's very important, Ayanda, that she was the first witness representing from the family, should I say, because she was, in fact, the last person to have seen Chief Albert Luthuli on that fateful morning, and testifying in court that he left like he usually did in the morning to visit, to go to check on his store, saying that he was in good health, as he was happy that morning. He was in good health, which is contrary, she said, and to some of the statements and reports that had come out that he was not well at the time. And of course, in addition to that, saying that she was also the first person to have been notified that he had been injured in an accident, and they were then rushed to the then Stanger Hospital. And also, interestingly, in her evidence, Ayanda there again pointing to the fact that when they got to the hospital, in terms of his injuries, he had an injury to his head, and that again she's saying that this is contrary to what the original findings or the findings of that inquest, that 1967 inquest were in terms of the injuries that she had, that Chief Albert Luthuli had sustained. And I must say, and that I was just yesterday observing the family members throughout the testimony, initially from the police officers who testified in the court earlier on, before Wilhelmina, and as well when she was then on the stand, how they were nodding, and clearly you could see that they're agreeing with the evidence that was being brought into the court. And as we've been saying, Ayanda, that the family has maintained throughout these years that they did not believe the findings of that inquest, that he had died in an accident. Let me now, Ayanda, bring in the spokesperson of the ANC and KwaZulu-Natal, of course, the ANC from the onset, from day one, ANC leaders, including members of the ANC's NEC, coming down to KwaZulu-Natal, because this, as important as it is for the family, it's equally as important for the African National Congress. And now have the spokesperson for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, SABC. Mr. SABC, good morning and thank you for your time. I was just observing yesterday some of the leaders of your party that were in court, namely Sbu Ndebele, as well as the leaders of the region, seemingly everyone nodding, and agreeing with the evidence that was coming out in court. And as you've always maintained as the ANC, that you, like the family, have never believed the findings of that original inquest in 1967.
Greetings, Ayanda, and greetings to the viewers. Indeed, the ANC and the family is vindicated if you look at the proceedings and the initial evidence that has been presented. So the ANC, of course, is going to be part of the case. We were part of the case from 57 years ago. We are still part of the case today. We have fought hard for this inquest to be reopened. As you know, that the testimony by the daughter-in-law, it suggests that indeed a lot was left unattended at the time of finalizing this case. As you know, that Boswell the one who presided over the initial inquest, on the 11th of September 1967, already he had made a determination of the outcomes of the case, yet the case was going to sit on the 16th of September 1967. So it tells you that the case was predetermined and justice has not been served. And with these proceedings, the ANC is confident that the state will be able to bring finality and closure to this matter for both the South African people and the family of Chief Albert Luthuli, the founding president of the African National Congress.
I know that you're also saying just off air that we've seen the leaders of the ANC, but there's going to be mass mobilization. You're bringing in a lot of supporters to come here to the court to support the family.
Indeed, the ANC is working towards ensuring that on Tuesday, when the convener of the ANC Provincial Task Team, Comrade Jeff Radebe, is making his own testimony on behalf of the ANC, the ANC will have to have its mass-based organization. As a mass-based organization, it will be in numbers here in court to support the family, but also to reaffirm our standing on issues of justice as the ANC, to say even if justice is delayed, we are of the belief that justice will be served on this particular matter. And we are convinced that it's not only this case that warrants this particular inquest. The inquest must be for all the injustices that took place during the apartheid regime, during the brutality of the apartheid regime.
SABC, thank you so much, sir, for your time. The spokesperson there for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, of course, just sharing their views on what has transpired in this inquest so far. And as Mr. SABC was saying there, Ayanda, that amongst the witnesses that are going to be testifying in this inquest will be the convener of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Jeff Radebe, as well as other ANC leaders. But also just coming back to the family, Ayanda, we will also be hearing testimony from the daughter, one of the surviving daughters of Chief Albert Luthuli, that is Dr. Albertina Luthuli. Not too sure yet in terms of the date, whether or not it will be today or tomorrow, but we should get an update from the National Prosecuting Authority team in terms of who will be expected to take the stand next. But as you were saying, and as we started, of course, today for the first part of the morning, we are expecting Wilhelmina Luthuli, the daughter-in-law of Chief Albert Luthuli, back on the stand for her to continue her testimony. I'm going to leave it now at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Ayanda, take things back to you.
All right, Ayanda Mhlongo, live to us from the High Court in Pietermaritzburg there, as she said. For now, thanks very much indeed.